I've had so many requests for this recipe over the last couple of months, I couldn't ignore it any longer. Something absolutely gorgeously evil and in no way good for your teeth. Let's make some cinnamon scrolls on the One Pot Chef. In my beat up old Tim Tam mug, I've got 1/4 cup of warm water, and I've just added in a tablespoon of caster sugar, that's superfine white sugar, and to that I'm adding a 7-gram sachet of instant dried yeast. And I'm just going to pour it on top there and just leave that aside for about 5 minutes or so to allow the yeast to activate. Into a mixing bowl I'm adding 3 cups of plain flour, just regular flour, 1/4 cup of caster sugar, that's superfine white sugar. Just quickly mix that together. I've made a well in the centre of the flour mixture, and to that I'm going to add in 1 egg, which I've just lightly beaten in a cup, 3/4 cup of milk, splash of vanilla essence or extract, 50 grams of butter which I've just melted, and our yeast mixture. And just mix that all together. Might be easier just to use your hands towards the end, because sometimes it will just become very sticky and it's impossible to stir. Got a lightly floured surface, and we're just going to knead the dough for about 3 or 4 minutes until it's nice and smooth and elastic. Dough is nicely kneaded and we've put it into a nice clean bowl, and to that I'm just going to cover this with some cling wrap and then set it aside in a nice warm spot for about an hour while the dough doubles in size. Start working on the filling for our cinnamon scrolls. First things first, into a jug I've got 1/2 cup of brown sugar, 1/4 cup of caster sugar, and 2 tablespoons of ground cinnamon. And just mix them together until they're well combined. Our dough has doubled in size, so we're just going to take it out of the bowl with a good punch, like that. And then we're just going to knead it for a couple more minutes, just to get it nice and smooth. And then all we have to do is roll this out to about 40 centimetres by about 30 centimetres, just a nice big rectangle. I've got 100 grams of very soft butter, and just using a spatula, just a nice soft plastic spatula, I'm just going to spread that butter evenly all over the dough. And then sprinkle the sugar and cinnamon mixture all over. And all we have to do is, taking one of the long ends, we're just going to gently fold it over like so, like this. Just make it nice tight roll all the way over until you've got one big long sausage. Just because I'm a bit of a neat freak, I'm going to chop off the 2 uneven ends there, just so we've got nice even bits. And we're just going to cut this into 16 individual slices. I've lined the tray with non-stick baking paper, and I've just arranged the slices cut side up, and I ended up putting those 2 wonky ends in there in one piece just to fill up the space. And all we're going to do is cover this with the cling wrap again and put it back in that warm spot for about an hour. They won't rise as much as they did the first time, but they will puff up a little bit. They sort of puffed up a little bit more, and all I'm going to do is just brush over the top of each one with some melted butter. This will help to give them a bit of a glazed look on top and make them nice and golden when they bake. Then all we have to do is place them into the oven, preheated oven, 180 degrees Celsius for about 30 minutes, 35 minutes, just until they're nice and golden on top. Our cinnamon buns have just come out of the oven. The whole place smells all buttery and cinnamony and goody. I don't even know if that's a word, but it sounds good all the same. Leave these in the tin for at least 15 minutes. 2 reasons. One, because of the heat, they are still baking, so don't want to eat them too soon. But also, the filling, because it's got all that sugar and everything in it, is absolutely roasting hot. So if you try to eat them straight away, you're going to burn your mouth like you wouldn't believe. So leave them for 15 minutes to cool, and then we can serve them up. Let's have a taste. I'm using a knife and fork because it's still hot, and I don't want to burn myself. Oh wow, that is incredible. So sweet and cinnamony, if that's a word. Beautiful fluffy pastry, beautiful. I'm going to enjoy this. Well, I hope you've enjoyed this recipe. Check out my other videos at OnePotChefShow.com. And until next time, see you later.